The movie begins in a huge apartment where two men with their masks on are painting on a wall. When they are done, they take the picture of what they have painted and escape from the building through the windows. The guys are Toby and his friend Jay. After coming out, they take off their masks, change their appearances a little bit, and go on their separate ways. A police car is coming on the way to where Toby is going, but he just casually walks by without them noticing anything. He goes to a train station to take the train home. He sees a woman sitting there begging for money while there is an announcement about zero tolerance for beggars on the station. A wealthy-looking man is also standing there and looks at the woman with disgust. Toby casually walks past the man and takes out his wallet sneakily. He then gives the wallet back to the man, saying that he found it on the ground. The man thanks him and gives him some money as thanks. Toby gives the money to the woman and then gets on the train with a smug smile. When he comes home, his mother is sleeping, so he goes to his room and lays on his bed, seemingly happy for today. On another side of town, a man and a woman come back home and see that their wall is painted with a huge "I came by" written on it. Jay is cutting a tree in front of a huge house of a judge. He goes inside to use the bathroom and takes a picture of the internet router and sends it to Toby. The owner comes and asks what he is doing here, but Jay says that he was looking for a bathroom. When he comes back home, he shows the picture of the judge's house, saying that they will have a house like this one day. When he tells her the name of the judge, she says that she heard about the judge through a mutual contact and he is known as Saint Blake because of his charity work. His girlfriend, Naz, then says that she has news for him and tells him that she is pregnant. Later, Jay goes to have lunch with Toby. Toby tells him about all the illegal things the judge is doing and says that the thing about Saint Blake is just a publicity stunt. Jay says that his girlfriend is pregnant, so he can't do this anymore, and if he wants to target the judge, he will have to do this on his own. Toby is not happy with that and says that he can't do this on his own, but Jay is determined and says that he should quit too. He says that his child needs him, so he can't do anything that will cause his family trouble. He says that if Toby wants to do this, he should do it on his own and keep his name out of it. In the night, Toby is listening to a YouTube stream about graffiti art and the people behind the message, "I came by," that is left at several wealthy people's houses. A street graffiti artist is giving an interview and says that whoever is doing this is wrong as this art belongs to the streets, not some people's houses. After getting ready, he goes out of the house, even though his mom tries to get him to do the dishes before going out. Toby goes to the judge's house and waits for him to get out of the house. When the judge leaves the house, Toby goes near the house and connects his phone to the house's internet as he has the password from the picture Jay had sent him. He disables all the locks and cameras and goes inside the house. As he goes inside, he looks around and sees several framed pictures. Toby is in the living room when he hears some strange noise coming from inside. He follows the noise and reaches into the basement. He sees the basement is filled with strange and old-looking things. He finds more pictures in a drawer, and as he is looking at the pictures, he hears a loud crash, which makes him jump and pictures fall from his hand. Again, following the noise, he sees a shelf with the ceramic plates and other things placed there. He goes to check it and finds a handle. As he pulls the handle, it opens like a secret door. There is a room inside another door there where the noises are coming from. He sees some shadows moving in there from under the door, but before he could do anything, his watch alarm starts beeping, indicating that the judge is back at home. Judge Blake was playing golf with his friend when he saw an alarm for his house on the phone and rushed to the room. When he reaches the house, he can't find anyone despite seeing the signs that Toby has escaped just in time. Meanwhile, Jay and his girlfriend are at her parents' house when they kick her out of the house for dating Jay. When they come back home, they find Toby standing in front of their apartment. He says to Jay that he needs to tell him something important, but he refuses to listen to him and says that he told him to keep him out of it. He tells Toby to handle whatever mess he's created by himself. A devastated Toby then decides to call the police and tell them about the incident. He uses a public phone to call the station, but when they went to his house, they couldn't find anything suspicious. Blake says it is absurd that he is accused of such a thing and it must be some teenager playing pranks. They go to the basement, but there is an old washing machine running there, blocking any kind of noise. The officers go back after not finding anything, frustrating Toby more as he was waiting outside the house for them to do something. When Toby goes back to his house, he is really angry, so when his mother tries to scold him for not doing the dishes, he gets furious and tries to leave the house. His mother, Lizzie, takes the house keys from him, saying that he can take them back when he learns to show some respect. They get into an argument as Toby says that she should just give him the money his dad has left so he can leave the house, but his mother thinks that he is not ready to handle the cash yet. She says that he is 23 but hasn't achieved everything, while she meets a lot of kids who are fighting for different aims in their lives. Toby leaves the house, saying that she doesn't know what he is fighting for and asks his mother to not wait for him. He goes to the judge's house again and opens the secret door. He finds a man there, injured and weak. Toby talks to the man and tells him that he doesn't have to worry as he will help him get out of here. Toby helps the man to get up and they try to escape, but Blake comes back home early this time after seeing the signal on his phone about someone going into his house. Toby quickly takes the man inside the room again and shows him his face, promising that he will save him, and goes to hide in the cupboard. The judge comes into the basement and goes inside the secret room. Toby comes out of the cupboard and grabs a hammer from the wall with the intention of attacking the judge, but when he goes inside, he slips and falls face first in front of the judge. Blake was holding a cricket bat and attacked Toby with it, killing him. He throws Toby into a kiln with a murder weapon and his clothes, and then takes his ashes and flashes them down the toilet. Meanwhile, Toby's mother is waiting for him in the house, and when she doesn't hear anything from him even after 3 days, she contacts the police and his friends to ask about him. Toby's mother calls him and informs him that he has not heard from him. The detective asks them different questions and then leaves, saying that she will call them if she finds anything. When the police go outside, Lizzie again asks Jay, saying that he must know something, but he refuses to say that he would tell if he knew something secret. He then goes to Blake's house and takes a letter out of his mailbox. Unfortunately, he gets arrested by the police as he was smoking standing there, but they let him go when he says that he was stressed due to his girlfriend being pregnant. He takes his stuff back from the station, including the letter from Blake's house. Jay then goes to Toby's house and secretly puts a letter in a secret stash. He then shows it to Toby's mother, pretending that he also saw the secret stash for the first time and doesn't know anything about the letter. Lizzie takes the letter to the police station and shows it to the detective. The detective asks Lizzie to go home as they will contact her later. She then calls his fellow officer and tells them about the letter, saying that it is the same place that Toby's phone was last tracked in, and they even get a call about someone being held prisoner there. They raid Blake's house and find the secret room in the basement, but he says that it is his panic room. The detective finds it strange that there is a peephole in the door of a secret room and it can be used only to look inside. Blake tries to threaten her, but she doesn't get scared and arrests him for obstructing an on-duty officer. They take him to the station, but he quickly gets out using his resources. Lizzie is following all the investigations and is disappointed to see that a suspect got away so easily. Later, at home, she is going through Toby's stuff again when she finds a USB attached to the bottom of his drawer. As she tries to open it, she gets frustrated to see that it is password protected. Lizzie is stalking Blake as she always stays outside his house in her car. One day, she saw a young man going into Blake's house. The man's name is Omid, and he is an Iranian who met Blake at a massage center. Omid is gay and was disowned by his family and is struggling for permanent residency. Blake has promised to help him in his case, so that's why he is visiting his house. In the house, he offers Omid a drink and mixes something in it when Omid goes to play some music at his request. They talk for a while, and then Blake tells Omid about how his father brought an Indian man as his lover into his house, which led to his mother's killing herself. He says that he found his mother with her wrists cut open and he hated that boy very much. Sensing Blake's weird behavior, Omid tries to escape, using the excuse to get to the bathroom, but Blake brings him back. Omid then asks Blake for a glass of water and asks him what happened to his father's lover. Blake tells him that he assaulted and nearly killed his father's lover. As he was looking away and busy telling the story, Omid stood up and escaped through the window. Blake tries to follow him, but he has to stop after seeing Lizzie's car parked outside his house. Later, at home, Lizzie is watching a video of Blake when Jay comes to meet her. After she brings him tea, he asks her why she is watching a video of Blake. She tells him that Blake used to be a part of the equality system and that she is studying him. She further tells Jay that Blake is a devil but no one sees him and even the police have given up on the case. Lizzie says it is just because of his resources that Blake is innocent as the police have found nothing on him, but Jay says it is just because of his innocence. She also tells him about Omid and says that she tried to convince him to press charges, but he is very scared. On the other hand, Blake follows Omid and forces him to go with him by threatening him by saying that he will stop his application for permanent residency. He then brings Omid back to his house and kills him. He then searches for Lizzie on the internet and finds that she is Toby's mother. He continues to observe her through the window and then places a key in a hidden location at her door to show Lizzie its location. Lizzie doesn't want to give up, even telling the detective about Omid, as he had been missing for days, but they couldn't do much about him. She then goes to Jay's house after some days and shows him the USB with the pictures of the "I Came By" paintings. Jay wants her to keep the photos secret because it will do nothing for Toby but ruin his life. Lizzie asks for his help to break into Blake's house, but he refuses to say that he can't risk anything as he has a son and a girlfriend. Lizzie says to Jay that she can't give up on his son, to which Jay says that he is not giving up on his friend, but he can't help her because he is a black man and if something happens, he will go down for life. Lizzie couldn't believe him and said that he should help her as he owes her and Toby she always helped him, but he still refuses, so Lizzie goes away from there. When he goes inside, Naz asks him what is happening and says that she will raise their son alone if she has to because he always hides things from her. Lizzie is still following Blake, and when he goes out of his house, she sneaks in using the secret keys. She looks around the house in the hope of finding something. As she turns around, she is shocked to see Blake standing there. She tries to run, but he has locked the door. She struggles a lot, but he still drags her away and locks her in the basement. He ties her with the door and brings Omid's dead body there, saying that he has to cut him to fit him in the kiln and that she will fit anyway as she is small. She is crying and asks him what he has done to her son. He tells her that he flushed his ashes down the toilet. He then kills her too. Meanwhile, Jay has received a parcel from Lizzie with the USB inside and a note saying that she didn't make any copies. He tried to contact Lizzie but couldn't reach her for a week. Suspicious, he goes to Blake's house and finds that the house has been sold. He realizes that Lizzie has also been murdered. When he comes back home, he sees Naz ready to leave the house, but when she sees him looking so distraught, he starts crying and says that Lizzie is gone and it is all his fault. Jay and Naz's relationship still falls apart and they get separated for a while. One day, Jay is taking care of their son Aiden when Naz comes to take him and tells Jay that Blake will be attending the Brimstone School's 300th anniversary celebration. She tells him that he will be there because he donates a lot to that school. She then goes away with Aiden, saying that she hopes it will help Jay and asks him to be careful. On the night of the celebration, Jay is waiting outside the school for Blake, and as he comes outside, he follows him in his car. He follows Blake to his new house and attacks him at night with a cricket bat. Even though Blake wakes up and puts up a fight, Jay manages to overpower him and beat him to the pulp. He then goes to the pottery studio in the garage and finds the same man Toby has found locked up there. He saves the man, calls the police, and then goes away from the scene. He received a call from Naz asking him if he was fine while he just kept crying. When the police arrive at Blake's house, they find a bloodied Blake tied with the tape while there is a huge sign painted on the wall saying, "I Came By." This video ends here. If you enjoy our video, don't forget to subscribe, like and hit the notification button so you won't miss any of our video. Let us know your thoughts about this movie in the comments.